Arsenal win 5-0 away at Burnley. Talia, Arsenal, from making it look so difficult to put the ball in the back of the net, they're now making it look incredibly easy. I don't know where this has come from.
I know, it's so nice, isn't it? Because that is it. There was a stage where we were getting it into the box and just not getting it into the net, and now it's just effortless. It's so nice to see.
There's a bit of a phrase Arteta likes to use sometimes, which is we need to do better in both boxes, and it sounds like such an obvious thing. Keep the ball out of one net, put it more in there. But Arsenal, I think all season have been very good at playing the game in everything but, conceding really stupid goals. I think of Fulham at the Emirates, I think of the game, Liverpool scored the other day against us, Awani, that goal for Forest. But then we haven't been putting it in the back of the net when we've had these big chances. And now it feels like things have really tightened up at either end of the pitch, and you're coming out with 5s and 6s in back-to-back away games.
But this is the Arsenal that when the end of last season obviously came to a close, we were expecting to go into the season. And I think that's the key word, isn't it? Expecting. We were all expecting this because of how last season went. And now it's starting to happen. And obviously, hopefully it stays. But this is the Arsenal that we all wanted to see, obviously. Yeah. But it's here finally.
It is, and 5 wins in a row for the first time in the Premier League this season. First time I think Frank said 5 wins in the Premier League in a calendar year. Mm-hmm. So for the first 5 games of the calendar year, I'm making a mess of that stat, but you will get what I'm trying to say. Okay, let's talk about the matches, because there's a few players. You had a surprise one you wanted to chuck in there.
I wouldn't give him my man of the match, but I think if we were talking about a summary of a few different people, I did want to put Martinelli up there. I know he obviously didn't get a goal, which was obviously a shame for him, but he still made a big impact, and more of an impact than some of the other players. And I think that's what he's one of those players that, again, at the beginning of the season, we probably didn't see as much of, and now he's really coming into his own again. And he's getting, he's a guy that he's great when he gets that ball across. Yeah. I mean, it's beautiful and it's class, and he's been doing that a lot more, and we were seeing that today.
Mm-hmm. And lovely assist for Odegaard.
Of course, and that's the thing, and he's doing that. And again, maybe he didn't get as much as we were all expecting this game, but I still would have put him up there for the running, yeah.
I thought he was good. He was constantly taking on his fullback. And actually, one thing I sort of noticed today, Saka is brilliant. And go check out Frank's fan cam to see, how much praise is coming for Bukayo Saka, and deservedly so. But Saka has a lot of help. Mm-hmm. And for a while, it felt like he didn't, because he was always on the touchline. But in recent games, Odegaard plays very close to him and drops a bit deeper. Ben White overlaps and tucks in. Martinelli's doing it with Havertz, who basically his job is to just run up front, and then when they don't have the ball, run back into midfield. Kivior is basically another centre-back who's expected to sit there and defend. So Martinelli has a lot of work to do on his own. Rice is cleaning up everywhere. So it's difficult for him, but you're right, he's shining as a player that's still causing problems for the opposition.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He does, I see a lot of it doing on his own when he does it. There have been times, especially when I've been at the games and, where I sit, he comes straight up along the side and he'll get those balls. And he, in a way, kind of like what Declan Rice does, he does sometimes get everywhere in where he is. I feel sometimes, and he really can get those balls and bring it right up into. He's fast as well.
Yeah,
he brings it right up into the goal, and obviously gets it across. And that's now where we're finally seeing people actually getting them in. Mm-hmm. But he doesn't. That's the thing. He doesn't always get as much help, and that's what he seems. That's why he stands out for me, because you can see he's somebody that he goes out of his way to get the ball, and he'll do everything he can when he's got it.
Yeah, and what about Kai Havertz getting a goal? And he did really well, because he's made the run. It's a really good throw. I don't know who took that throw, but there's some good length on it. And there's Kai Havertz running towards goal. I said nick it through the legs before finishing with his weaker foot. Nice finish. Mm-hmm. And that's the icing on the cake, but felt like he needed it. What did you make of his performance and his performances recently? Because you've always stood up for him, and I think we're seeing him fit with the team a lot more in recent games. So give us your thoughts on Kai.
Well, just an overall, I think all the team is starting to gel a lot more. I think they always did gel, but there's a lot more of it happening. And I think the thing with Kai, again, obviously he went through that run where he was scoring, which was great. And obviously everyone expected it to keep going. But then the whole team kind of flattened a bit. And I wouldn't say that, again, he's been, rubbish recently. A few people haven't been so happy with him. I think he's still been showing up, but I think it's nice to see him get the goal again today, because obviously, hopefully, who knows, it starts something off with a goal streak again. But I think, he's showing us that he can score. He's showing us that, and today was a great goal. I think it was a great goal what he did today. And I think his presence is, when he is there, you can feel his presence. Not all the time, I do understand that, but you can see it.
Again, maybe I'm overdoing it, but he played a part in the penalty that Trossard won, where he, from midfield, his job is to constantly get into the box. He moves into that striker position, lays it off to Trossard. There are a few moments in the game where I was really frustrated with his first touch, Havertz. But again, in that moment, good positioning, lays it off to Trossard, we win the pen. Now, a lot of people will go, James, that's the bare minimum. Yeah, maybe it is. What I'm saying is feeling like he is a part of these moves and a part of the team getting moments in games that win us those games.
It's interesting as well, because actually I thought about something just now while you're talking, is that in recent games I've seen him, so it might not be things that he's done with the ball at his feet, but there have been times where I think a pass came over to somebody, I don't remember exactly who, the pass came over to somebody and he could have been, let's say in inverted commas, selfish and tried to go for the goal, but he didn't. I remember watching him duck and then the ball went into the back of the net from somebody else. So he's quite aware, and that's not the only time. I've seen him do it other times when he'll jump the ball and because he knows maybe there's someone behind him who's got it and they've gone and scored. So again, I know people can say that in very different ways, but I think sometimes that's actually quite a clever thing for somebody because they know who's behind them and they know maybe they might not have the right space, they might not get it, but the other person might.
I think he's starting to feel a part of the team. And whether people like his contribution or not, I totally hear that. I'm not blown away by his contribution to the team, but I'm understanding more a little bit how players are benefiting off what he does. And I never follow his work rate. That's the one thing. I've seen some really lazy players at Arsenal, and he does work really hard. But having talked about Kai Havertz and the goal, Martinelli and why he was in at least the conversation for man of the match, end with your man of the match.
I think my man of the match will go to Martin Odegaard.